Hello, my babies. Hello, my baby girls. Oh my goodness.
Hello, my lovelies. We are here to start a new reading blog, and as usual, I'm going to begin by scrolling down to the oldest book on my Kobo and doing a little read it or delete it. So let's see what the book is. The Power Mage Trilogy, Promise of Blood by Brian McClellan. I don't remember what this is about, so we're going to look it up. Bless you. Promise of Blood. My kids are going to school late today. So this is the first in a series. It has a 4.13 rating. It is 545 pages. The genre is high fantasy steampunk. The Age of Kings is dead, and I have killed it. It's a bloody business overthrowing a king. Field Marshal Tomas's coup against his king sent corrupt aristocrats to the guillotine and brought bread to the starving, but it also provoked a war with the Nine Nations, internal attacks by royalist fanatics, and the greedy to scramble for money and power by Tomas's supposed allies, the church, workers' unions, and mercenary forces. Stretched to his limit, Tomas is relying heavily on his few remaining powder mages, including the embittered Tennille, a brilliant marksman who also happens to be his estranged son, and Adamat, a retired police inspector whose loyalty is being tested by blackmail. But when the gods are involved, ... The way this is written is really bizarre. Now, as attacks batter them from within and without, the credulous are whispering about omens of death and destruction, just old peasant legends about the gods waking to walk the earth. No modern, educated man believes that sort of thing, but they should. In a rich, distinctive world that mixes magic with technology. Oh, okay. Magic and tech. Who can stand against mages that control gunpowder and bullets? One of my friends has read it. Rob, what did you rate it? 4 stars. It's non-stop action. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder if this is one of those heavy action books, because it kind of sounds like it. We'll see how I go. I'm going to give it a shot. Either it's for me or it ain't, but we're going to give that a shot, read it or delete it. I'm then doing my tarot card prompt. So there's not many cards left to choose, and then I'll get onto a new deck. So which one today? This is what we're doing. Ooh, okay. So we've got the High Priestess as the card today, and the prompt for this is choose a book that matches your current outfit. So I am wearing like a khaki army olive green. Let's see what I've got. Wow. I've just picked this up. Like, this has some olive green. One second. They laugh at me every time I say it. This kind of has some olive green. I'll see if I can find something even closer to that. But that is an option. I might just take this anyway with me today to read on the way to the city. What else have we got? An Arcane Study of Stars has some army green in it. Agnes Lives, but I don't think that's out yet. Okay, I found one that has a lot of... Is that green? Oh, that's grey. Oh, it kind of does match. I'll put it on the screen. Let me know if you think it matches. There's Mrs. Sorensen and the Sasquatch by Kelly Barnhill. So I think that might be the closest match that I have, but I think I am going to be going and doing a massive library haul if I have time today. And there might be other options, but like I said, like even on the back of this is a green, and this doesn't look like it matches. Look, I'll pick something. Here it is. This will be the choice for matches my current outfit. Today I am heading out into the city because NGV, the gallery, is having a book fair with a lot of indie or small presses showing their books. I think a lot of them are going to be art type books, but I do want to go and see what's there. I'm trying to limit myself to 5 books max. I don't want to blow my whole wage on books today, but we'll see. I am also allowing myself to do what I want, but I'm trying to keep in my head, try to keep it to 5, but if there's just too many good options, just figure it out later. And hopefully I can also get to a cafe. And there's also a really cute bakery that does these fruit desserts that my daughter saw on TikTok, so I want to see if I can get her those, but it's a time crunch because I do have to pick my kids up from school, and because they're going later, I have less time. But I will see you once I return with the goods. butter loaf.
We saw our
I was going to go to the library, but there are 23 books on reservation for me, so I can't carry that many books. I'm going to have to do that another day. Okay, I'm in focus. I'm back. I'm exhausted. It was very overstimulating and overwhelming for me because of the amount of people that were there. When I buy books, I want to very much take my time browsing, and I just wanted to be conscientious of all the people like behind me wanting to have a look. So, and what I bought was Girl Beast by, it's already marked, Cicely Lind, translated by Hazel Evans. So it said it was a winner of the 2023 Danish Critics Prize. It was $35. And it says it's a fearless, unsettling and poetic reimagining of the Lolita narrative, where power shifts unpredictably and desire and coercion become indistinguishable. In a world that fetishizes girlhood, it asks whether a girl be blamed for internalizing the roles imposed upon her. Can she wield her youth as power in a system designed to render her powerless? So this was on the Manic Books table. I think that they're an independent distributor. But there's so many great things, but like I said, it was just, I had to hurry too because I had to pick up the kids from school. You also got free posters. Mine got really damaged on the way home. That's the one that I picked, but you could take all 4 of them if you wanted to. But really cool. I think in the future I will, oh, it's ripped. I will try and go on a day where I don't have to go and pick the kids up from school, and I've just got a lot more time to sit and browse. And I also went during lunch hour, which is also probably super packed. But that's everything for today.
Isneko, yes.
I think Sylvie's gonna win.
It's because Blue is chasing. Blue's just chasing the light, but then Sylvie's smacking
no,
Blue.
That's cute, but Mummy, like Sylvie's like cute. Right
Oh,
now.
is it on Sylvie? Sylvie, she's chasing the light.
Sylvie's like, you better not.
Good morning, guys. I have an update for you. Okay, yes. So I decided to hop on NetGalley because I actually don't have any ebooks out at the moment, and I was in bed and I very much wanted to just rest my e-reader and read rather than try to hold a book. So I requested Grief Eater by Emma Osborne. So this is a riotously angry queer zombie novel that is this road trip through the Australian landscape, mostly Victoria, where a woman is clawing her way back from death, fueled by female rage and betrayal and grief and an unquenchable hunger for revenge. Her appetite needs to be satiated. Our main character's name is Christina, and her healing journey ain't gentle. She is rotting and raging and revenge hunting down her former family, and I guess hoping that her vengeance will finally fill the hollow that's inside her. So this is a zombie movie. It's set in a world where zombies are loose. It's in Australia, and zombies feed on humans, so they'll eat everything except the bones. And as long as they eat, they regenerate. If they don't eat for long enough, they will start to decay and rot and not heal. This is very much grief as consumption in theme. So Christina was raised in a very abusive family, so that abuse is also on page, and the grief of that is eating away at her insides, both literally and figuratively, and it turns into this queer rage. It definitely leans into the anger. Once she becomes this wild beast. She thrives on her fury and the rage that comes from having been abandoned and hurt and rejected and discarded by her family as if she was trash when she comes out as queer. So Christina in this is a lesbian. When she came out, her family rejected her, but luckily there is a found family aspect. She found her tribe in a trans man and a community, and it was showing the juxtaposition of the biological family being the cause of her pain and her suffering, whilst her queer adopted family were her safe space and her connection and the environment in which she started to bloom and become herself. So we're sort of in her POV and on her little quest of revenge and wondering if closure is possible for her, especially in her new altered state, or whether she's just going to be pouring salt on the wounds or tearing them further open. There's a lot of body horror in this, so the author does not shy away from describing in detail Christina's meals, her happy meals. I did enjoy it. I've given it a 3.5. I think to its detriment, it's come after I've read It Lasts Forever and Then It's Over, which is also a zombie book in which you were in the point of view of the zombie. And in that one, it was a lot more literary and it was a lot more lyrical and poetic, but mostly when that person awoke as a zombie, it was definitely an other perspective. Whereas in this one, I don't feel like there was a big enough difference between Christina and zombie Christina in the way that they thought, besides zombie Christina being very hungry and no longer having the morality of caring that she's killing a human. It's just a food source for her now. But it was a lot of telling instead of showing. So there's something about the way everything was just being told to you that I didn't love. And it didn't feel authentic as a zombie voice, I guess, in my opinion. It just felt a little bit contrived to me. It does have great pacing, so you just drop straight into it. It's a novella. I loved, obviously, the Victorian elements in there. So it's like, she starts out at Collingwood Children's Farm, and any Victorian will be like, oh yeah, I am familiar. So there were a lot of places dropped, if you will. So I don't know if that is annoying to people who aren't from where this book is located, because they do mention particular places. But because I live in Victoria, I liked it. It is very gory, as I said. It feels like a complete story. So we go with Christina on her hunt to find her family and make them pay for all of the years that they hurt her. And you're kind of rooting her on. Her family is shown in only shades of black, as in they are bad people. There's no sort of nuance there with her family. But yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was. For some reason, I thought it was going to be a graphic novel because of the cover. I don't know why I thought that, but it was a novella, an Aussie zombie novella, so 3.5 stars. I am going to give this a go. Scavengers by Kathleen Bolland. I also got another arc from NetGalley because I'm happy to DNF if the book isn't working for me. I now feel like I can apply for more books, whereas before I was being very, very particular because I thought you have to read this book in its entirety, Chanel. So don't request it unless you're going to put in all the hours required, even if you're hating it. But now I feel like it's probably more detrimental to negatively rate an arc than just DNF and just state your reasons why it didn't work for you. So now I'm like, okay, just apply for whatever you like. And that's been lovely. So I got approved for What Feeds Below by Tatiana Schlotter-Bonny. The cover is absolutely stunning. This is a YA, so it might not be for me, but because it's a YA horror, I am giving it a go. So I believe this is about a girl who ends up going into this terrifying monster-filled place because her reckless best friend wandered into this deadly territory. So I believe it's mostly about the friendship between these two girls. And I think it involves eldritch horror, I'm assuming. They've got mushrooms on the cover, so I don't know if it's a fungal horror. But yeah, it seems to be mostly about the friendship between these two teenage girls. But like the cover beautiful, beautiful. So I hope I love this so I can buy it for my trophy collection. So that's what I've got going on at the moment. I do have an audiobook too, actually. I lie. Let me see what it is. Libby, what have you got for me? Oh, okay. I've got Searchers by Valhini Vara. This is a non-fiction, so I can't remember what it's about exactly, but I will also be going on to that. I'm going out today to grab an acai bowl, and I'm going to pick up those 20 odd library books at the library, so I'll be back with the library haul. Okay, I'm back, and I am a hot and sweaty mess. I did not dress appropriately today. It was actually warm outside, so I am sweating. I've got the most amount of underboob sweat I've ever had in my life, so thank God I'm wearing black. I have so many books. This is the biggest book haul I have ever gotten from the library in one go, so I'm not going to tell you what each of these books are about. I'd be here all day, and I need to take off my top and dry myself, so let's just go. We've got The Rock from the Sky by John Classen. So I got this to read to Indy. We'll see if she likes it. She likes That's Not My Hat. I can't remember if that's what it's called, but it's a classic. We've got A History of Horror, Fear and the Uncanny, and it's got very cool end pages. It's red on the inside, and I think it's just showing horror in lots of different art forms, so that could be very fun to read, because as you know, I now do love horror. I think, is this Kronos eating his children? I don't remember. The Secrets of Mushrooms by Ginevra Picocco and Lorenzo Cocci. Illustrations by Esther Castelnuovo and Valentina Figes. So I love myself a book about shrooms, so I thought I'd just have a look. It might be for children. I have a feeling this is for children. It's probably for children. Another book for children, or maybe not. I don't know. Once in a Blue Moon, Nature's Rarest Events and Best Kept Secrets by Emily Hawkins and Vlad Stankovic. So, oh yes, I think this is also for kids. So, I'll see if my kids will read them, but I will probably have a browse through as well. All right, let's go on to the others. We've got Orchid. This is from the Royal Botanic Gardens Kew. I love all of their books, so even though this is all about orchids and I'm not actually really an orchid girly, I still thought I'd give it a look and see if it interests me at all. We've got House of Spells and Secrets by Ivy Cassidy. This one I've heard a lot about, Half City by Kate Golden. So this is doing the rounds. I think it was in one of the book subscription boxes. So I thought we'd give it a go. At least the character is 21, not a teenager. Okay, we've got Pedro the Vast by Simon Lopez Trujillo. Vote for Pedro. Then we've got, I love this cover, The Mushroom Gatherer by Victory Hanisova, translated by Veronique Firkusny. It's just a beautiful cover. I don't even know what this one's about, so it'd be interesting to see what this book is actually about, but the cover was so beautiful. I've got Spoons, a neurodivergent friendly cookbook by Phoebe Jordan. When I did this online, I didn't realize there are no pictures. I'm not going to use this. I have to have a visual aid of how it's meant to look for me to understand the instructions. So that is not working for me, unfortunately. Half a Dark Heart by H.F. Asquith. So we'll see what this one is about. Like I said, I don't know what they're about. I just grabbed them. Okay, Ancestral Night by Elizabeth Bear. I believe I reserved this because I was going to do, I don't know which reading vlog it was, but it was for another book prize one, and then I ended up scrapping it. Maybe it might have been the Hugo, I'm not sure, but obviously it came in. I'll read it anyway. If the Dead Belong Here by Carson Faust. Once again, a really cool cover. Forest of Hearts by M.A. Kuznia. One touch and his heart is lost forever. A lot of these books I have never heard of before, but I have heard of this one. This is Morsel, Carter Keane. Bite the Hand That Feeds You. This is a folk horror book. I don't know if I actually put it on my anticipated, probably not. This was also a very cool cover. Mother Salad by Helen Buncis. It's very, I just love the collage style on that. That's gorgeous. Ooh, Lamington Left Behind by Andrea Innocent. I like to try out, what do you call it? YA or even middle grade graphic novels. So we'll give this a go. because I still do have children. Speaking of, this is for Indy. Bath time for the crayons. They love this whole series. Doesn't really do much for me, but she loves it. I also do different accents for each of the crayons. I can't remember which one's Scottish, but one of them is. We've got Mrs. Burke and Mrs. Hare by Michelle Sloan. That's that one. A Rebellion of Care by David Gates. This is poems and essays. And we've got, yeah, this is really interesting. Peter V. Brett, Butter Cookies and Demon Claws. We've got a map, which is very cool. Some illustrations. They're different illustrations every time, or the same illustrations. But like I said, I've not heard of these books. This one I borrowed again. So this is Nymph by Stephanie Lacava, because I didn't get to it last time, so I put myself back on the wait list and it's come around again. And the last book, lucky last, Sister Svangerd and the Not Quite Dead by KJ Parker. So majority of these have not heard anything about. I just saw them at my library. Can you see this stack right now, bro? And I was like, you're coming home with me. And that's everything. See you soon. Ciao. I am coming to you with a review. So I did read Mrs. Sorensen and the Sasquatch. I ended up giving this a 3 stars. So this is about a small town that absolutely loses its shit when one of the recently widowed women ain't acting like a respectable recently widowed woman. She's already got herself a new man and he's 6 foot plus and hairy as fuck. So they're really upset. They're upset that she's not performing grief for the community, essentially. And there's a lot of gossip, there's a lot of judgment, and over one woman who's just choosing to be happy and to live her life and to reconnect to her wild ways. So our widow used to be a friend to the animals, and then she married a man who was allergic, so she could no longer spend her time with animals, and she married him and they had some time together, and then he died. And as soon as he died, she befriended all of the beasties, including the biggest beastie in the woods, Bigfoot. And you know what they say about big feet. So yeah, it's a lot about, I guess, female freedom and rebelling against societal expectations, choosing your own happiness over what others expect from you in your grief. And I guess because she goes full wild, it's embracing your inner wild as a form of liberation. We were in a priest's POV, so all of the townsfolk were taking their grievances with the widow's behavior to the small town local priest, and he didn't see anything wrong with it. He's like, hey, she's allowed to live her life, and if she wants to live her life with a animal of a man, then good luck to her. May peace be with you and your wild man's giant peen. This was chaste though, so I want to say that I did go into this thinking this was going to be erotic. I don't know why I was getting those vibes, Mrs. Sorensen and the Sasquatch, but it was very, very chaste. It's like just a very sweet book about a quiet lady who's moving on from her dead husband with the Sasquatch. It was a 3-star book. It just was. I am currently still reading What Feeds Below. So I'm only a few chapters into this. So we've got this void, this mined into land that had another land there. So this is giving Annihilation and Atlantis. We've got burrowing down into the earth where there's lots of weird things, but it's almost like it's a whole world there. I feel like there's another movie that did that too, The Land Underneath. I feel like The Rock was in it, but there's this whole world, subterranean world, and it's weird as fuck. And there's the things that have magical properties. There are corpse eating mushrooms, or I can't remember what's down there, but there's a lot of stuff down there, and there's different levels. So level 1 and 2 have been plundered. The first people that went in there took all of these cool items, these rare gems and whatever else, and made their money, and they stripped it. And then we've got, level 3, 4, 5, 6, and the lower you go, the less likely you are to return whole or even alive. So fewer people visit the other levels. So a lot of the people that initially came, the treasure seekers, took their loot and bounced. So we've got a bit of like a previously gold rush town where while everything was happening, places were built and that to sustain the community that was there, but now all of the treasure hunters have gone. It's a bit of a ghost town, but there are locals who are still stuck there, so they mostly work as tour guides. They take tourists into the first or second level and show them the cool shit that's there, and they're barely making it by. They're scraping the bottom of the barrel. And we've got our two orphans, our two girlies, who are orphans, who have just gotten a deal. They've only ever gone to levels 1 and 2, but they need some money, and someone is offering a large amount of money to go to level 3, and they reckon, you know what, we're ready, we can do this. Let's take this man to level 3 and get our meal ticket. So that's where we're currently at. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm intrigued by what lies beneath and what feeds below. So we'll see how it goes. But yes, it's just a typical YA book in terms of the writing. It's very easy to read. It's very simple. It's mostly about the story. And I'm intrigued by the story. We do know that her friend gets lost, goes missing, and she has to probably venture even deeper down below. We've also gotten a possible male love interest introduced. It's a boy who has a rich daddy, but he's also, I think he's got a bionic leg. His leg was lost, but now he's got top of the art mechanics. It's even better than the original, from a mishap in the void. And I have a feeling he might come into play. We'll see. But yes, I'm reading that, and I will see you soon.
Baba.
Hello, my lovelies. I feel like I'm crooked. Sasquatch. I have some updates for you. So I did try Promise of Blood by Brian McClellan. This started off very French revolutionary with an off with their heads, down with the monarch type of a situation. There was a very cool magic system, so that different people have different abilities. Fortunately for me, it was a bit misogyny. It was a very manly fantasy. The women weren't portrayed great, and the one woman that was given sort of a role is a savage mute. So it's just like, okay, it's this kind of fantasy. I gave it 100 pages and I was like, yeah, no, not for me, bro. So it might be for the bros though. I did DNF that one, and then I had the arc, What Feeds Below by Tatiana Schlotter-Bonnie, and boy, oh boy, okay, where do I start with this? So the writing itself, it just felt like a first draft of a story a 14-year-old is writing in her school holidays. I don't mean to be harsh, but it felt very unpolished and juvenile. The characters in the book, the two girls, all of the characters actually, just their conversations, their dialogue was very unnatural. All of them felt very one note, all of the characters. You could have interchanged them with each other and I wouldn't notice much difference. The book was touting friendship as one of the main pivotal themes in this between the girls. Straight away you can see that it's a toxic friendship. She's being gaslit by her friend and she's just absolute delulu. She's like, my best friend would never abandon me and she does everything for me. And I'm like, sis, what? Based on what we've seen? Because nah, brah. So I didn't like their dynamic. I was like, no, you need to find yourself a better friend and you need to find yourself a backbone. And the main character herself was so fucking annoying. She was so annoying. She was the dumbest bitch. I have no tolerance for stupid characters. I can't, especially if they're partaking in life or death situations with just this cavalier, imbecile-like attitude. Because the void, okay, so you do have to suspend your disbelief with this one as well. Cool premise that there's this subterranean, cavernous, magical, dangerous world beneath the surface. Highly unlikely that the government would have nothing to do. Like, no government, no company has come along, despite the fact that there's very valuable items. No pharmaceutical companies either. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, everyone's just like, yeah, let these hicks in this town just run their own shoddy tourism industry with this. No. And then the fact that too, like I said, it's a shoddy tourism industry. People die all the time. And I'm like, they would have been shut down. What do you mean? You can't run a business and have people die. I can understand maybe it was left to the townsfolk to do what they will, but if you are charging people to take them somewhere and they die, pretty sure that has legal ramifications. But yeah, so you just have to completely suspend your disbelief. Like I said, these girls are fucking dumb cunts. They were infuriating to read about. Very heavy events were just glossed over. So you get dropped the fact that her mum tried to sell her into sex work as a child. And like I said, someone dies horrifically in front of them. All of this stuff is happening and it's just completely glossed over like it's no big deal. I'm like, each and every one of these events are trauma-inducing, go into shock events, and you're just like, oh, almost died then, whoopsie, on we go. You know, it was just like, what the fuck is going on in this book? I really tried because the cover is just so beautiful and it's got a lot of great ratings on Goodreads. I made it to 60% and I wanted to throw the book across the room. Like at that point, I was feeling like this is a 1-star book. And then I thought, yeah, no, don't do that. Just skip to the end, read how it finishes. I could see the twist a mile away as well. It's one of those twists that you call as soon as this bit of information is dropped in your lap, you're like, well, that's going to be that then, isn't it? And then there was like an extra twist on that, and that's not worth it to me. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. This whole town can just burn to the ground and I would not bat an eye. But it just felt very, like I said, shallow and juvenile overall and silly. So I did end up DNFing that. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Okay. Whilst I read, I did pick up another book. So I do have a book for you that I've read in full, and that was Morsel by Keane. I did end up giving this a 3.25. So this is about a burnt out office worker named Lou who gets sent on this job to survey the land her company is interested in. And it turns out that it's in this really creepy Appalachian area. And whilst she's surveying the land and with her dog, a corpse-like coyote comes at them. And she runs to her car, but lo and behold, someone's put a hole in her gas tank and has drained her car, and they seem to want her not to leave. They want her to stay. And she ends up getting involved with this sort of convergence of capitalism and hunger and gods who are all consuming. It's essentially a girl and her dog just trying to survive, but who are also one piece of bullshit away from absolutely snapping. So very heavy on the themes of capitalism and consumption. It's the main theme of this book. You have Lou, who is absolutely drained by her work and her debt and her circumstances and hustle culture and being exploited. And so by the time that the monster comes along, she's just like, eat me, bro. Take what's left. I'm done. I have nothing left to give. Everything has just been eating away at me all this time, and I'm tired. I'm over it. Or does she end up giving in to her own hunger, her physical hunger, her emotional hunger, her financial hunger, her monstrous hunger? And does she decide to finally bite the hand that has barely been feeding her? So yeah, main themes of, wanting, needing, consuming, female rage, and like I said, just the struggle to survive. Can you continue to be a good person in a world that is absolutely walking all over you? When do you go enough's enough? It was a 3.25 because it was very readable. It was very bingeable. I absolutely sped run through this. It was just fast paced, which I appreciated. It didn't do anything new for me. It was pretty much just your standard survival, capitalism, consumption, cannibalistic horror with a monstrous eldritch element. If you're really into the monstrous eldritch element, that's not a huge part in this. I would have liked to have known more about what the fuck was going on with their business. Like, please explain. But it's just, like I said, speed running her through, starting off as this overworked, underpaid, struggling rat in a wheel to hungry baddie. I'm just going to leave it there. The dog, the dog doesn't, the dog is harmed. Does it die? I don't know, you tell me, but I just want to put that out there. If you don't want anything bad to happen to the dog, then this story is not for you. But yeah, 3.25. Cool cover though, as well. Cicadas also feature heavily in this. So if you've got an insect thing and you don't like cicadas, is that what you call them? I think that's what you call them. They're in here. They're a big motif. So 3.25. What am I going on to next? I might pick up Pedro the Vast by Simon Lopez Trujillo, translated by Robin Myers. I think this is another horror about a fungal disease. So mycelium horror, which I might, but then I did just read a horror. So look, I'm probably going on to this because the reserves on this are huge. So if I don't get to this in time, I'm not going to get it for months and months. And this is almost 500 pages. So because this is so popular, I'm actually going to try Half City by Kate Golden first. So it says, welcome to Harker Academy for Deviant Defense. Keep your daggers sharp and your wits even sharper. So we've got 21-year-old Viv. She lives in an expensive city and works long hours at a thankless job and can't get her mother's approval. And her mummy just happens to be a demon hunter. Ever since her father's murder, Viv has been forced to hunt alone until she crosses paths with a dangerously alluring demon, Reed Graveheart. Reed said there's a school for people like her, and if she enrolls, she can hone her craft and never be alone again. Okay, look, I don't love school settings, but this is meant to be adult, but we'll see. Like, Harker Academy for Deviant Defense, it just makes me eye roll, but we'll see how we go. And I'm also going to try this one because this also has a lot of holds on there. So this is Lamington Left Behind, and it's about Lamington, who has lived alone in the wilderness ever since a flood destroyed her home, and then she finds a ragtag family of koalas, wombats, and a pelican, and she shares a powerful connection with them, and to save their home she has to find a library of seeds. Oh, this sounds like so sweet and delightful. Oh my god, it's anthropomorphized creatures. I was like, oh, little koalas, but it's actually koala people. Koala people, that's less cute, not gonna lie. I kind of anthropomorphized creatures. They're either hot, like the fox in Zootopia, or they creep me out. We'll see which way this lands, but I think I have to go back to doing 1 week vlogs because I've eaten away into my little window of being ahead, filming ahead, and I'd like to keep it 3 weeks between what you see in my real life, so I'm not stressed. So I know I was saying 6 books per vlog, but I'm going to go back to a 1 week, ending it on a Sunday. Today is Tuesday. Hang on. Maybe I'll start next week. I'll do that next week because I'll probably have 6 books before Sunday rolls around. So after I finish this vlog, then I will do them 1 week, what I read in a week, and keep it like that. But yeah, we'll finish this one off with 6 books. I can't remember how many I've read so far. 1, 2, 3. Sorensen's Grief Eater and Morsel. Okay, so I've got 3 more books left. Maybe it's these 3. Maybe it'll be these 3. We shall see. I'm heading out today to grab some stuff. I've got my ex-husband's ex-girlfriend coming over to hang out today. So I'm just going to get us some tea. My tea stash has run low, and some treats. And I'll see you when I've next read a book. So I'll do that so we'll look nice. Yay! Who wears the pants in your relationship? Ideally, neither of us. Relatable. Intentionality. I'm intentionally and delicately building an authentic and safe community of absolute fucking weirdos. Amen. Hello, my lovelies. I am in direct sunlight, so we're just going to go with it. I did get my hair cut, as you can see. This is what I was going for, and then this is what I got. So not super happy, but it'll grow out. My mum tried to fix it a bit, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And we soldier on, we soldier on. Okay, so I have some updates for you. So I did read, oh, I've got it right here. 1 second. I read A Rebellion of Care by David Gate. So this is a poetry book. It also has mini essays at the start of each section. And it is pretty much just this very warm hug for anyone who is feeling exhausted by life. Some of the poems are funny, some are sad, some of them are definitely Instagrammy, and some feel like aphorisms or personal psalms. They can, look, I will absolutely admit this is kind of cheesy, kind of cringy, but sometimes that's just what you're in the mood for, and I was in the mood for this. It was hopeful without pretending everything is fine. It's just, it hit at the right time for me, so it's kind of like a 5-star poetry collection for me. There is some Christianity stuff in there, mostly in the end section, but I was kind of fine with it. It didn't, trigger me, if you will. I'm just going to read you the last poem because I feel like it touches upon a lot of the little topics that are in the rest of the novel. If I suddenly disappear, it's because my doctor's calling me and I need to hang up and answer. Give us back our lives, because this is not our inheritance. This is furta sacra, theft of the sacred. Our lives are being siphoned of goodness and refilled with plastic and sugar and debt. We are operating on calorie deficits and intrusive thoughts. We make our hunger everybody else's problem. Most of us spinning in jobs we hate. The only promise? Promotion to middle manager, of people stuck in jobs they hate, thinking about the lunch break for the minute we arrive, thinking about the weekend, thinking about vacation. Learn to code, they say, for pizza parties, headaches and sensory overload, for a coffee twice reheated, for indigestion from fast food we ate too quick, for vitamin supplements and coping mechanisms. We secretly wish to get sick just to get a few days rest. Nothing too serious. We dream about winning the lottery, but never buy a ticket. Too smart for that. We unsubscribe from email lists like it's our job. It isn't. We rewatch The Office on one screen, fill the Amazon cart with the other. We have 24 open tabs. We make free content for tech companies, and they show us ads. We lift weights and dumbbells and pay monthly for the privilege. We eat flavorless tomatoes in February. The only drugs they will prescribe are the ones you can't enjoy. There's a low-level anger wound up like a coil. AI anxieties kept on a rolling boil. My watch tells me to breathe. I tell it to fuck off. I walk into rooms and forget why I entered. There is nothing here. I remember wanting. The cities of our fathers are all gerrymandered and gentrified. We can't even see the shooting stars that pass fast and bright above us. It wasn't the working class who ravaged the bourgeois. It was the avarice of the ultra-rich. Who picked the cotton in my tea? It's the same old shit. They just moved the plantations out of sight, out of regulation. This system makes us all thieves, and I will never be this innocent again. They take away our recycling, but we have our suspicions. We used to watch TV together. Now we sit in different rooms, each of us left to our own devices. We become what we tolerate. I keep a tally of everything my kids will tell the therapist about, and then I tweet about self-care. There are no maps anymore, only phones. There are no mentors anymore, only YouTube instructional videos. Even my Bible is just another app. I drink water all day, yet wake up thirsty every night. The subcutaneous fat in my neck thrumming like an apartment radiator where the thermostat is busted or set too high. Neither side of the pillow is cool enough. I am coping, but not coping. I count my teeth with my tongue. I scramble to hold onto something, anything that doesn't move. All this creative energy with nowhere to go eats us from within. The sadness never leaves, but neither does the wonder, and that makes everything sadder. It's all too much, but also nowhere near enough. It's not the pain that worries me. It's succumbing to the numbness. I have tried a disaffected Zen state of being, to Lebowski my way through this world. But you can't. The nihilism always catches up to you. You have to care. You have to fucking care. I am incompatible with the status quo. I will be an agent of another way of living. I am taking the American dream and making it my footstool. We are inside the empire, and I want to fight these bastards for real. Work from home if you can because they hate it. Grow anything you are able to. Nurture every creature you meet. Yes, everyone is struggling right now, so please be gracious, be kind and patient, but subvert every institution that relies on our suffering, even the churches. We do not balk from work. There is no shortage of endeavour in the spirit of folk. We will not be severed from planet, personhood or kin for nothing more than money. I cherish the mornings when I am awoken by the birds, not by alarm. I love the days that cannot be seized when the coffee is for leisure or the pleasure of taste rather than to jolt my brain into function. Time is the only commodity I care about. Time to heal and dream and pick the flowers and feel the breeze and be baptized in nature and play catch with my child and fetch with my dog and paint and spin a pot and write a book that bigots want to ban and bake bread and make love and laugh until it hurts and miss what is lost and remember all that should not be forgotten and forget everything that doesn't matter and forgive all that can be released. We let go of everything eventually. I want to receive this precious life by sleeping when I am tired, by eating when I am hungry, by resting when I am in pain. There is no virtue in the denial of necessity, and having what we need should not be a fantasy. We hear the murmurs from the marrow of the earth. We have the memory of real life in our bones. The old ways are in our blood. But don't get sentimental. Get free. It's okay to live a life that people don't understand. Not every house can be broken. Not all wildness can be tamed. There's a reason it's called unbridled joy. Touch grass, touch trees, touch the petals, touch the leaves, touch the water in the creek. Sense this world in scent, through sight, in texture. The world is a cathedral, and my heart is a gospel choir. I can hear it. I can hear it the year of Jubilee, and we will sing our love while the world ain't fair and the first buds of spring. I can't wait to see you bloom. So if we are a generation kissed with apocalypse, and if these really are the end times, then let us finish with a flourish. Yes, flourish, dear ones, flourish. So like I said, I can see that it's kind of cheesy and everything else, but sorry. My doctor did call, in fact, while I was on, so I had to pause, but yes, this was a 5-star poetry. Then what else did I do? I read A History of Horror, Fear and the Uncanny by DK Publishing. So this was an illustrated creepy tour of humanity's obsession with being scared, with fear. It started with mythology and religion, and then it went into things like moral panic, so things like witchcraft and vampires and demonic possession, things people thought were really happening. And then it went on to sort of local legends and then into art, literature and film. I liked the little nod to Australian horror, so that was nice to see a little category for that there. And then it went on to modern horror genres. And there were some newer ones that I haven't heard of before, like A24's Elevated Horror. So that was fun. That was probably my most enjoyable section, was seeing the genres and seeing it depicted in books and film and literature and the like. So I ended up giving that a 3.5 stars. And then I finished it off with Butter Cookies and Demon Claws by Peter V. Brett. I gave this 3.5 stars. So this was a very cozy fantasy murder mystery that had a town. We have a main character, an older woman who looks like she's in her 80s, but she's 160, and that's because she's a former demon slayer. And when you would slay demons, you would have the clock wound back. It would just regenerate your whole body. It's like stem cell overload. And she has had an extended life because of that. But the demons are all dead. They've all been killed. And so age is catching up to her. But there are some people in the town who are also former demon slayers that are starting to look a little youthful, a little spry. And she's like, how are you doing that? What's going on? And then one of these suspicious people are murdered by what seems to be a demon, which is a bit like, what the hell? There's no demons left, right? So she has to start digging through all of the town gossip and the grudges and the secrets and uncover what really happened whilst she makes butter cookies. So she kind of plies information out in return for her butter cookies, which top notch. So I enjoyed this for like, it is a cozy book, but I was interested to see, how are these people staying young and who murdered this person? How did they die? So I liked it. It reminded me a lot of Recipes for an Unexpected Afterlife, The Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking, Legends and Lattes, and Isabella Nag, and The Pot of Basil. So if you like those books, you might like this one. So let me wrap up all the books I read for you. We had Mrs. Sorensen and the Sasquatch by Kelly Barnhill, which I gave 3 stars. Church Ladies versus Bigfoot, Grief Eater by Emma Osborne, which I gave 3.5 stars. An Aussie zombie novel powered entirely by spite, Morsel by Carter Keane, which I gave a 3.25. Office Job now includes Cannibalistic Sacrifice, Be a Team Player, A Rebellion of Care by David Gate, which I gave 5 stars and was my favourite read. Self-help meets self-poetry. When you heal, we all heal. A History of Horror, Fear and the Uncanny by DK Publishing, which I gave 3.5 stars. A Timeline of Everyone Being Scared of Shit, and Butter Cookies and Demon Claws by Peter V. Brett, which I gave a 3.5. Nothing serves a murder like carbs and gossip. Let me know what your favourite cookie is down below. I think mine is just a chocolate chip, fresh out the oven, soft. It has to be soft. And until next time, and if you want to leave me an emoji, leave me a cookie emoji. Until next time, stay well, Star Child.